Hello and welcome to another video. Haven't done a video in a while, but I'd just like to show off this shallow aquarium. I've showed it many times before, but I just want to show you some of the pond plants that I'm trying to grow out of this tank. Now obviously this is quite a small tank, and having pond plants in this tank would benefit it quite a lot. As you know, the more plants, the better the water quality, and the less maintenance you have to do to ensure that water quality is up to scratch. So I think I had in this tank before some golden panchaks, and now it's full of mollies. I'll show you those in a second, but first let me just go over what plants are in here, because I think it's quite interesting. So let me just take the lid all the way off. So as we've seen before, this is a shallow tank, a metre long, 24 centimetres tall, high, and it's full of plants. We've got a really big Amazon sword in the middle, some crypts. We've got some pennywort, I think it is, Brazilian pennywort, which is taken over. And I got this really big piece of wood here in the middle of the tank that creates like sort of a cave, and it's grown over the top, and it grows out in the open. And I think what it is, because there's a lid on top of the tank, it creates that very humid atmosphere between the top of the water and the lid, so they do quite well out in the open. So yeah, we've got the pennywort Brazilian, and we've got Java moss, which isn't doing very well, but it is still alive. It's tied to the wood and some rocks. And then we've obviously got Pothos, because I include that in every tank, because why not? Everyone should have Pothos growing out the tank, down the side. When it gets too long, you can just chop it at the bottom and then put the trimmings, the cuttings back into the water, and you get all these roots that are very nice in the tank, nice for the fish and really beneficial. Anyway, we also have some Monstera in here. I took a clipping off a big plant and then put it in the tank, and that is doing really well. It's got new leaves since I put it in. If you know what a Monstera is, the cheese plant, you know how big they get. So if and when this plant takes off, it's going to really take over, which will be really interesting. You know, the rhizome and the roots and the size of the leaves, it'll be crazy. In terms of pond plants though, we have some of this really common pond plants. Don't really know what this is, but it's really common. This is doing well. We've got some umbrella palm tucked in there as well, and then this really nice plant. This is orange peel plant. I don't know the scientific name, but orange peel plant. I got these at my pond, and what's really interesting is these baskets. Got off eBay, obviously. So plastic baskets, really strong, like well made. Hooks on the back. I've just filled it with those hydroponic balls, so they try and absorb some of that water, and it helps the plant root, and it keeps the plant steady. It's really hard to keep these plants in one place when you've put them in the water in the aquarium. You don't want them falling out or drifting away. So I've got 2 of these. Just got the orange peel plant in one and this pond plant in the other. Now I had an orange peel plant in here before. I had it in here for months, and the roots actually grew down into the substrate, and then out of the substrate, loads of new plants growing out, like 5, 6, 7, all growing through substrate and then out. But I think it was too deep, like the water, because it died off in the end. And it might be because as the new plants emerged, they were submerged in the water instead of coming out into the air. So this time I've put it in this basket because it was just loose before, like this Monstera, it's just loose. I'll put it in this basket now to elevate it, so any new shoots or plants, they'll easily be able to find the surface of the water and they'll grow out, and they'll probably survive a lot better. So I've got 1, 2 pond plants in here, the umbrella palm. I've got the Monstera, the Pothos. I've also got one sec. Also got this creeping Jenny. I've got a load of this in the pond. If you look at my pond videos, I've got a load of this like growing out the top of the pond. This produces yellow flowers and it's really nice, and it grows like, it will grow out the water and along the floor. So I had some of this, and then I put it in the tank and it was really submerged, and it didn't do very well. So what I did, I took it out and then put it in a little bit higher, so it almost kind of floats on the top. And it's produced new leaves now, those little leaves and new ones, and I reckon it's going to be pretty good. So yeah, let me just show you inside the tank now. So the aquarium isn't usually this bright. I've just added some extra lights for the video. But as you can see, it's heavily planted, which it needs to be because there's a lot of fish in here. I only have 2 of the original adult mollies still in here, this black one and this white one here. All the rest are babies. I knew they'd reproduce because they're live bearers. I knew they'd reproduce quite a lot, but I have got quite a few in here now, which is nice. But it's quite a lot of fish for like 100 litres, so we'll see what happens with that. I also only had like 6 bronze cories, and now I've got about 11. As you can see, try and get closer. So you see the adult there, and then the babies are about half the size of the adults now. And they were really shy to begin with, but now they're out and about. Really nice to see. It's a really nice aquarium, mollies and bronze cories. Bronze cories are bigger than the mollies, but it's really nice. And when I come up to the tank, the mollies all come out, and then which means the bronze cories always come out, thinking that there's food around. So it's heavily planted. I've got these big slate rocks in there to try and break up the aquarium and to stop the plants growing in certain areas. Like we have the intake filter here. I don't want any plants growing around the intake filter, so I've got some slate there to stop that, and a big piece of slate here to stop plants growing here, just so there's I like to have open areas with no plants so they can swim. And then this wood structure provides like quite a big cave, and most of them sleep in that cave. The Pothos roots provide quite a lot of cover, and the fish like to nibble them and hide in them. It's really nice having Pothos roots in an aquarium. So yeah, this is the shallow aquarium. I'm hoping that once the pond plants all grow in, if they grow in, I'll be able to take the lid off and just have plants coming straight out the top, which will be really nice. I mean, humidity wise, there might be quite a lot of humidity, but if there's big leaves and stuff like that coming out the tank, it will look so good. So we'll see what the Monstera does, and yeah, I find the best way to add pond plants and stuff like that is by taking a cutting and then putting it in a glass of water, and then wait for those roots to really develop, and then put it in the aquarium. The reason is because I've put quite a lot of different plants in the aquarium, and what happens is sometimes they completely die off, and the roots and the stem all turn to mush. And if it's a big plant like a Monstera, it turns to mush in the water, and it's quite messy to get it out. Whereas if you put it in a glass of water and then you see the roots, you know the plant's adapted to the water, and then you put it in the aquarium, that won't happen. Or if it does die, it's in a glass of water and it's easy to sort out. But you imagine like because I had a big Monstera cutting in the back here, and I didn't realise, but it actually died, and it was a big mess. So yeah, this is the shallow aquarium. Thanks for watching this little update. Try and make some more videos, we'll see what happens.